Everyone in the world has gone to bed one night or another with fear or pain or loss or disappointment. And yet each of us has awakened, arisen, somehow made our ablution, seen other human beings, and said, "Morning, how are you? Fine, thanks, and you?" It's amazing. Wherever that abides in the human being, there is the nobleness of the human spirit. Despite it all, black and white, Asian, Spanish, Native American, pretty, plain, thin, fat, vowed or celibate, we rise.
I first realized I was black at 6 years old. Obviously, I recognized my skin color, but to me, nothing was abnormal about it. I looked like my parents and my brother and my extended family. My teachers had never singled me out. My friends and classmates had never singled me out. So why would I think anything was out of order? I marveled at strong black characters played by Kerry Washington,
Olivia Pope takes you.
Oprah Winfrey, Jennifer Hudson, and so many more. I use music as a solace, both as a spectator and a participant. I've been performing my whole life. And with my mom being from the birthplace of hip-hop, she quickly introduced me to her favorites: Sugar Hill Gang, Run DMC, Eric B. and Rakim. And on my own, I distinctly remember the pride that 8-year-old me had when I could accurately recite the lyrics to Bedrock by Young Money. Blackness has always been a part of me, but up until age 6, I never saw myself or my blackness as inferior or inadequate compared to my Caucasian counterparts, or any other culture for that matter. I just saw myself as Amber, the girl with the barrettes at the end of her cornrowed braids. The summer I turned 6, however, I went to a camp with my little brother where there were few people of color. It was our first year. I didn't know anyone, and I was extremely shy. I kept to myself until eventually the counselors forced us to branch out. After all the campers had introduced themselves, I discovered what I thought was improbable for the camp. There was a girl there who looked like me. She had a similar skin complexion and, more importantly, had barrettes at the end of her cornrowed braids. I jumped at the chance of starting what I naively thought would be a lifelong friendship. "Hey, Nicole," I burst out, trying to contain my joy. "Can I play with you?" I waited giddily for her response. She looked me right in the face and said quickly, "No, you're too dark to play with me." For a while, those words hurt me, but they also helped to make me stronger. Instead of just being the girl with barrettes at the end of her cornrowed braids, I now was the black girl with barrettes at the end of her cornrowed braids, and I was okay with that. Now, anywhere I go, I feel like I can be myself because I understand all that comes with being black. With that, I no longer discredit my achievements with "that's good for a black person," but instead I celebrate them with "that's great for Amber," even when others can't do the same. It's experiences like these that have molded my philosophy on education and on being an educator. I strongly believe that teaching goes way beyond what happens in the classroom. I echo the words of 2017 Connecticut Teacher of the Year, Johanna Hayes, who says,
"I see a little bit of myself in every one of you. The bright students, the struggling students, the attentive, the distracted, the highly motivated, the laid-back dreamers, and yes, even the fresh ones. I see myself in all of you, which is why I fully understand that getting a quality education is so important. You deserve it. You deserve it."
We have to be culturally responsive. We have to listen to our kids, and we have to continue to grow as people inside and outside of our profession. This means being up to date with pedagogy, exploring the worlds that may be uncomfortable, and bringing your full self to the classroom. Further, when it comes to the urban education and the education of under and misrepresented groups, society must move away from antiquated stereotypes and come to these students with the same compassion and sense of community that we would in any other setting. For me, I know that with my intersectionality as a woman and as a Black person, I can show the little girls in my classroom that their dreams are attainable and the sky is the limit. And I can show the little Black girls and boys that nothing can curtail their goals, especially an antiquated stereotype. People of any race in America have had a hard time developing a sense of pride in their racial or cultural identity. And as I move into this next chapter of my life as a role model and educator, I'm beyond grateful that I've had to fight for mine.